Now, let's get into what I would say the most relatable part and painful part of this whole conversation, real stories from real sisters. These aren't just examples, they're wounds and they matter. So, if you see yourself in any of these stories, I want you to know you're not alone and you're not judged, but you should take accountability in the way that you handle things, okay? So, let's start off with sister number one. She says, I thought he was serious. She met him in a Muslim Facebook group. He had adab. He spoke about Allah. He used words like deen of dunya. He used to send du'as every Friday. They started texting, the voice notes, then the nightly conversations that ended in sweet dreams, ukhti. Okay? Sweet dreams, ukhti. No proposal, but lots of hope. Months passed. She finally asked, are you going to speak to my wali? He said, I'm not ready for marriage yet, but I really do care about you. Then gone. No accountability, just silence. The lesson we can gather from here that I told the sister is that he was never Islamically responsible for her, number one. Number two, he made her feel loved, but offered no protection in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no wali, right, even knows his name. So she built a future on feelings while he only gave fragments. Sisters, that is not love. That is emotional loitering. And the longer you let someone camp in your heart without commitment, the more broken you feel when they pack up and leave. Sister T says, I needed someone, anyone. Remember when I mentioned people they're not even ready for marriage, they just want someone? She fell into this category. She fell into this category. Loneliness disguised as connection. This sister had just gone through a divorce. She was healing, but quietly. She didn't tell anyone. Then came a brother on Instagram who said all the right things, per usual. You're strong, you're beautiful, don't let your past define you. Yeah? They started messaging. He became her comfort, her halal distraction. She said, he checks up on me more than my own family, right? But when she mentioned involving a wali, the vibe has changed. 1 week later, he blocked her. You know why? She was vulnerable. She thought his kindness meant that he was a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he was a test. One that looked like healing but only opened and reopened her own wounds. Sometimes we call it connection, but it's a codependency in disguise. You're not in love. You're just clinging to the only person who looked at your scars and didn't flinch until it was an inconvenience to him. You see how he ran when she mentioned Wali? No man who cannot face your Wali is a man enough to be a man of your heart. The third sister said, we wanted to do it right, but didn't know how. Good intentions, wrong process. This sister met a brother at the masjid. She wore the niqab. He lowered his gaze. They had their first conversation was at an Islamic event. She said, she wanted to keep it halal, right? They only texted, okay? Look at the trick of the shaitan. We only texted, only met in public, no touching. But guess what? There was no chaperone, there was no wali, there was no formal proposal, just back and forth for 7 months until he finally said, my mom chose someone for me in Egypt and I can't go against her. 7 long months of your life gone just like that. She spiraled, cried for weeks, lost her motivation to pray, felt like she was being punished. It's her fault. The niqabi, the one that met at a Muslim event, at Islamic event, they wanted to keep it halal. Just texting. So even with the best intentions, if you bypass the framework Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gave, you're going to end up hurt. They taught like not doing haram equal doing it right, but they were unguarded emotionally. And once again, her heart was left alone in a battle he never even fought for. Good intentions don't protect you. The framework Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created in the process of getting married is what's going to do that for you. Because even the most halal feeling men can walk away if no nikah binds him to your soul. Men that are married walk away. Imagine one that sometimes sisters, women are just so naive. I feel like we're just naive. Then we have a sister. He proposed within a month. A sister shared how she met a brother through her family first meeting. The wali was present from the get go. Second meeting, they asked some specific questions. Third, there was the proposal, like the intent now. They got married within like 5 weeks. No months of, months of texting, emotional games, just honor, clarity, and tawakkul. They've been married for about 4 or 5 years now, still learning, still fighting for each other, and still fighting as couples, still growing, but their love was built on clean and clear foundation. One that invited barakah from day one. So the speed of a relationship doesn't make it real. The structure or the framework of it does. When you do things Allah, the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained it, He's going to bless the outcome. The blessing is going to be an outcome, even when things get hard. So which story did you find yourself in? Were you the one who thought he was serious? The one who clung out of loneliness? Or the one who meant well but didn't know how to protect herself? I want to hear in the comment section. Respond briefly. Okay? Now, don't judge yourself on, how you loved, but now love differently. Let's choose clarity over confusion. Don't let don't choose a man over Allah, right? Let what am I trying to say? Because a man who truly wants you, yeah, won't leave your heart exposed while he figures things out if you're worth it. He'll honor you from the start, okay? He'll honor you from the get-go, from the start.